More possibility is better. When you have a limited amount of time and you have to go a long ways to accomplish it, why wouldn't you give yourself every opportunity? Lazio wants to know, how bad is the language barrier in Thailand? What would you say to that?
How bad is the language barrier in Thailand? I don't think there's really a language barrier anymore with the Google Translate and the things like that. I've gone on dates and I've had relationships where it was all through the translator.
Right.
And in some ways, it's easier to build a relationship with that because people are focused a little
Okay,
bit.
so that's really, it's interesting what you just said, because there was a client we went to years ago, and he had been divorced, and he met this woman at social, and he went after the social. That was a daytime social. It was a Sunday around noon. So he spent like 10 hours with this woman after that social. He came back to the hotel almost shaking, and he's like, I've never communicated better with anyone than this woman who hardly speaks any English. But the reason that I was able to communicate with her so well is I really had to focus on what she was saying. I really had to listen. I'm so used to hearing but not listening. In my marriage, I heard all the time, but I never really listened.
Yeah.
And when I listened to this woman, what she was really saying, it was a whole new plane. So it is interesting when you get into that.
Yeah, it is. But the other thing is, most of them all speak some bit of English.
Yeah.
And here's the other one. In Thailand, particularly, so they all speak some form of English,
Right.
and most of them are pretty good. And here's the other one. They have a goal. A lot of Thai girls, from the time that they're very young, they want to learn English. They want to go to America. They want to date and marry a foreigner, which is a foreigner,
Right.
and that's their goal. And it's a prestigious place for it with a lot of Thai women. And so what happens is you have an opportunity to meet and with some of those, but most of those people coming to these AFA, they know what it's about. They're coming to meet foreigners.
Right.
They know it's English. Most of them are studying English, been studying in high school, college, taking classes. It's become an important thing for them. Maya still studies English every day on her phone and everything else. She studies watching TV. She always puts up the subtitles, and then she'll freeze it and say the same subtitle over 12 times. Okay, can we start the movie?
When Tanya got over here, her English was actually really good. But there was still some slang and stuff, so I could say something that I probably shouldn't have said. And I could blame it on the English. Like, oh no, honey, you misunderstood.
You misunderstood.
Yeah. And that worked for about a year or two. Now forget about it. I can't get away with anything anymore. So sometimes that English barrier can be a good thing.
I don't think there's a language barrier in Thailand, really. I mean, that doesn't mean that you won't meet somebody that you have some communication issues at one time or another. But really, with a translator, you can get around any communication.
All right, Max says, I don't know how I feel about dating in a group. I'd rather just video chat a girl or two and then go meet them. I mean, I'll say something real quick and then you can chime in, but look, Max, you can do whatever you like, and certainly you can do that. We have a lot of men that go over what we call independently, and we will help set that up, and we will arrange the meetings when you get there, and that's wonderful, but it's a long ways to go. And even if you do a video call with the woman, all the senses are not in play yet. It's not the same as meeting in person. And to go all that way just to meet one or two women, if it doesn't work, then you're coming. We have a gentleman right now, went all the way to meet one woman, didn't really work out very well, he's coming back. That is a long ways to go. Now we have also a tour going there this week where they're going to meet between the two socials. Will probably be about 250 to 300 women that they're going to get the opportunity to meet. You can still meet those couple women that you want to video chat with, right? You can make them priorities, but why wouldn't you give yourself every opportunity? I'm not saying this to try to sell you on something. I really don't care. If you want to do the group tour, that's wonderful. If you want to go individually, that's great too. I'm just trying to give you the benefit of my experience over the last 30 years, and more is better. More possibility is better. When you have a limited amount of time and you have to go a long ways to accomplish it, Why wouldn't you give yourself every opportunity? Okay.
And that's what I said. We kind of talked about that a little earlier. I think you ought to go to the first two socials and focus more on not who you're interested in, but who's interested in you. You're going to get 10 different tables. You're going to pick one and try and find one or two girls at each table. And at the end of the day, you want to have 3 or 4 or 5 girls that you would be interested in dating should it pursue that way. And then at the end of the two socials, you have 5 to 10 girls that are really interested in you. And if you want to go do the one where you just video chat and do it, you may end up finding yourself in that position if it doesn't work out. I did.
Yeah. I mean, you just don't know.
2 girls I had that I was settled on, and I should have met more, paid more attention to who was interested in me. But they ended up with COVID at the same time. And I had a week to 2 weeks in there where I'm twiddling my thumbs thinking, every night at Hillary 11 watching the band sing, it's kind of fun, but it's not as fun as being on a date with someone you're in love with.
Travel to exciting places and meet hundreds of stunning single women. Check out our website at
Thailand-women.com.